Pull the wool off the floor. I've done this row wrong. A few stitches there. I'll pull out a couple of stitches because I've done a couple of stitches wrong. I will measure this to see what length it is now. The front of my jumper. It's 12, just over 12 inches, so I've got nearly 3 inches more to do. Knife on here. Oh, hello, Angela. So yeah, I put a post up so you would know I was coming on tonight. So it all depends on what's on the television, what people might be watching in. Yeah, but it's a little bit better. I've made the writing on my computer a little bit larger, so I can see I don't have to keep bending forward like this now. I can see what's written because I've made the display on my computer so the writing comes up bigger. Oh, hello, Harvey. Harvey M. I think that's Harvey M. Leslie Wigham, could you do a tutorial on satin sleeves on the decreasing at the top of the sleeve? Well, I'm in the middle of doing a sweater at the moment, Leslie. When I get to the sleeves, I've done the back and I'm halfway through the front. This is what I'm doing at the moment, and this is a satin sleeve. When I come to do the sleeves, I'll do the tutorial on the sleeves and show you how it's done. I've had a little bit difficulty with this when I first started it because it was too big and I had to knit the to pull the back out and knit it up again. But I got it sorted out and this is the front, so it'll probably be a couple more days and I'll probably get around to getting the top of the sleeve. But the way I do it, like I do it a lot different to most patterns because I work things out for myself. Look on me. But oh, you'll be up late again, will you, Angela? Oh, hello, Michelle. Haven't heard from you for a while. Yeah, I saw that post you put up the other day for the what was it? The things you got the music keyboard from Amazon. That was very nice getting things like that off them. I wish they'd send me stuff like that. And give to me, well, they're my great grandsons, like not me great, they're my granddaughter's kids, but they'd love things like that. But I don't know whether it's getting a bit warmer tonight than it's been all day, but it's really starting to get really hot in my house. I think I need to turn the heating down. And we've only got another in I think it's another week, isn't it, for this lockdown thing? Oh, you're busy at work, Michelle. Oh, you're going to give the yes, I think I saw you something about you're going to give them to your nephews, the things. Yeah, it's very, very nice that. Like I mean my granddaughter, Sheila, she has her own channel as well, and she got some she does like all, beauty hair and stuff and that like that. And she got it was a kind of brush, like a back comb and brush thing sent to her for her to show on that channel. She was giving it free to the thingy. You're in Carlisle, are you, Leslie? And it's cold there. It was freezing here this morning, and wasn't too bad. It seemed to warm up a lot, and I went shopping this morning to Aldi's. That's where I usually do my weekly shop, and it seemed quite mild, but actually it seems to be warming up a little bit more. Well, this is just outside Newcastle. That's where I am, and it does get a little bit colder here than it does in some other places in the country. But at the moment, I've got work. I've been putting scaffolding up on my house because I've got some trouble with the gutter and leaking, and they've been and put all the scaffolding up in the front garden. They've got the scaffolding goes halfway over my drive, and I can't get my car into the garage, and which annoys me because we have any really cold weather. Normally I can go straight in my garage and go straight out my car, but I mean having to wipe today I had to wipe all the condensation off the car, and that normally I can just go and get straight in my car and drive straight out. It's the same in the winter. I watch other people scraping the snow off the cars and that, and I don't have that problem. I hope this doesn't last very long, what they're doing at my house. There was somebody came from the council and checked the scaffolding today, so I'm hoping that the fellas are going to come and do the guttering, and they can get all the scaffolding back down again, because it's actually when I come into my drive, the back part of my car is halfway stuck through the gates. The scaffolding pole's that far up the drive. I've got to be very careful when I go in. I was frightened I was going to hit the pole and knock the scaffolding down. Yeah, never mind. It's thingy. Yeah, I thought it was a bit like that this morning because it was Michelle. You had frost. I know you're in Nottinghamshire, and it's very. It was very cold this morning. I'm not up that early, but because I don't have to go anywhere, I just get up whatever time I want. But this lockdown thing will be finished by next Thursday, and I think we'll be back to normal, I hope. But it all depends on what tier the rest of the country's been in. And I think before this lockdown started, I think us up here in near Newcastle, I think we were going to be in the higher one, or not in the higher one when it's sorted out again. That means because I'm not be able to do me bingo night at the pub, and which I do like because I'm quite lucky. I think not the last time I was there, but the time before that, all the other girls, me and my friend go, and we always share if we win, and we're both quite lucky. And this night, the two were winning every game going, and all the other girls were shouting, telling us that we were bored. We couldn't come back because nobody else could win anything when we were there. So we're quite lucky, and I enjoy the bingo nights. I'm hoping it gets back to normal, that one, or on this higher tier, because the pubs will be shut if we are. They said well, not far from here. If it is, if you are still on lockdown, you'll not be able to come up here for that. You'll not be able to come up to see us. So there's nothing we can do about it. Before I get it. I just see that it's already before they give it to me. And I've got me bag of wool here. I've got a big bag. I've been sorting it out because this was the last hat I made quite a long time ago, and it's a little bit worse for wear. Could do with a new one. So I'm looking at this white here. This is for me sweater that I'm knitting, but I'm just wondering whether I've got some blue, but that's for another jumper. I don't want it to break into that until I know what's going to be left. So I have a ball of turquoise. Any ideas, anybody, which one I should use? Turquoise. I've got a blue. Or a dusty pink. There's enough here for to do a hat. There's a purple. Oh, and I've got a big. I'm not too keen on that one though. I use these when I'm doing coasters and things like that. So maybe between one of these four, I think, to do another hat. I might do one with cable, some cable, up all around it, and with the brim folded over, and see. Oh, do I keep breaking up? I've put a cable in from the. It's not a reception where I am. I'm with Sky, and I'm with Sky Fibre, and I don't know why I don't get a good. This when YouTube processes these videos I do when I'm live, they tend to be pixelated and blurry and that. And I was talking to a girl called Alison Russell, who she'd done a shout out for us the other day, and she was suggesting that if I had a long cable, I could put it in from me box and put it into my laptop. That's what I'm using at the moment, and that's what I did. And I tried it the other day just for a few minutes, and it seemed to be a bit better reception. But from what Leslie's saying, it must still be not quite a good reception. I don't know why, because the Sky Fibre is supposed to be good. It's all right normally, but I've noticed whenever I do these lives that the quality is just not, to me, where it should be. And I've never really known what it was like when anybody was actually watching it. I'm talking about the videos after they've been processed through YouTube. There's Angela, Macbeth, you're blowing a gale and pouring with rain. You're in Scotland. Oh yes, you are in a different. You were doing at different times to us, the lockdowns and that, aren't you? You've just started a 3-week one. Oh yes, I think you've got more tiers than we have up in Scotland, haven't you? I think you've got 5 altogether, isn't it? 0 to 4. So you're going into to lockdown. It's terrible, this virus thing. It's sort of putting everything on hold, isn't it? Oh, Leslie said, make a candy stripe. I could, that's an idea, like make a candy stripe hat. I'll have to sort out I've got other balls, but I'm not sure whether there's enough, but I was doing stripes. I've got some green, mint green, I've got some cream. Red's a bit dark, I don't want that one only. And I've got some white as well, bits of white left, little bits, some more green. Oh, I'll work it out and say I was going to make a scarf as well, because I'm going to have to do some walking and do some exercise because I'm starting to put a little bit weight on with sitting on the settee all the time for the last the last 3 weeks. I'll put that back down there. Oh, I've got some rolls there to put in. Oh, bye, Michelle. Speak to you another time. Oh, it might be your internet, Leslie. I don't know, but I'm saying when I only tried the cable, what Alison told us the other day, I just put about a 10-minute, something about a 10-minute live up just to check it to see what it came out like, and it was quite okay on the playback on the video when I played it back later. Wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better than it was before, because sometimes it was really blurry, and that was just using the Wi-Fi, but the cable seems to be better. So that's probably what I'll do whenever I'm sitting here. And I've also got there's a ring light. My granddaughter bought me a ring light, because the light in this room is terrible when I have a night time. If I'm just putting I've only got the light in the ceiling, my main light in the room on at the moment, but I've got the ring light on. But I'll switch the ring light off and I'll show you what it looks like without the without that on, to see why I put the ring light on. That's what happens when I haven't got the ring light on. It's a very bad lighting. And I've got a standard lamp behind me there. Now that's no better when I put that on. I'll put the ring light back on. Like. Well, that was a nice handy thing my granddaughter bought me. It's good for the lighting like this, and it's got a you can bend the thing, but I can't do like tutorials where I can show my hands with it. At the moment, I've got when I do tutorials, what I do is I do it in my kitchen, and I put it's a bingo board. Actually, it's a hard plastic bingo board, and I put it on a higher shelf in my cupboard in the kitchen, and I put a couple of heavy jars on it to stop it to weight it down. And then I put my phone on the end of it, so that the camera's looking down at my hands, and that's how I do tutorials, so you can see my hands like that. But I can't bend the ring light. I think I need one of those ones that you put onto the side of the table with a long arm thing on, so I can put my phone on that. So I'll probably have a look on Amazon and see if I can get one of those to be easier to do the tutorials, because sometimes my phone's a little bit too high when I have it on the cupboard shelf, and I have to keep making it up and down, so like blowing it up, and that's so you can see what I'm doing. Like, oh, you live in the country, Leslie? Yeah, that may be why your Wi-Fi's dropping. It's you might have be a long way from the, I don't know what you call them, the main box where the things go into. I don't know how far I am away from the thing, but according to Sky, I'm supposed to get at least about 17 megabytes or something, but I'm lucky if I get one. And I'm not that far from where the thing is. I think sometimes it depends how many people's on. Because I've noticed if I go on a Sunday, it's very slow. Everybody seems to be on. But the last few weeks, I think with this lockdown, a lot of people being at home, I've had a lot of trouble when I'm on the internet, just turning from one page to another. It takes ages to switch from one thing to the other. But I suppose I think that the Virgin's better than the Sky, but I kind of get the Virgin here. So, and where I've heard of the Virgin's a lot more expensive than what Sky is. So I'll just stick with the Sky. It's quite enough for me. So is anybody else doing any knitting and crochet or anything like that? Making anything yourselves at the moment? I've been doing crochet and little bits and pieces, but I'm more a knitter than crochet. I learned to knit when I was about 5 or 6. It was actually my father taught me how to knit. He was a sailor during the war. And when they used to have breaks, that's what he used to do. He used to sit and knit and that for something to do. So he knew how to knit. And he had an accident. He was a steel erector, my father. And when I was about 5 or 6, he had an accident and he fell off the roof, and he ended up lying on his back for quite a long time. And then when he was getting a little bit better, he was getting bored, and he saw me trying to knit, and he showed me how to do it and that. And mother showed us basics and that, and like how to cast on and that. But my father actually showed us how to do the knitting, and so that's how I learned to knit. And from a very, very young age, I used to knit scarves and things, little things for your dolls when we had dolls when we were kids. Oh, you've lived in Scotland for a long time, have you, Angela? You were born in Newcastle. Yes, I'm actually from actual Newcastle myself. I was born in Heaton in Newcastle. If you know where that is, I used to live beside Rington's Tea Factory. Oh, and Angela, that's Ghost Hacker Angela. There's 2 Angelas on. You're crocheting, you're going to send us a photo later. I look forward to that and see what you've been up to. And Harvey, you're knitting a cardigan. You haven't been knitting for 20 odd years. Well, the lockdown's made a lot of us do a lot of things that we haven't been doing for a long time, I think, haven't we? Unless you're about a mile away from the main station. I've got this going. I've also got I sorted this cardigan for my granddaughter. I'm sure I've got it in my bag here. I started knitting it. This is machine knitting yarn that I had left over. I used to have a knitting machine years ago, and this is the wool off it. It's poodle, like that poodle stuff. It's got knotted. There's 3 strands I'm knitting together. I started it ages ago, and it's so hard to knit the 3 strands. I keep getting the needles caught, and I keep putting it down and starting something else, and I'll say, I'll start that black cardigan again for our Cheryl. I'll get it done one of these days. But I keep putting this off because it's so hard to knit, and I can't knit it at night time because black's terrible. It's got to be during the day when you've got a good light. You've been crocheting a bedspread off your youngest daughter. Or your eldest daughter, or you're going to knit baby blanket for one of her friends. I started when it wasn't my children, it was my granddaughter. She's 30 now, but when she was a baby, and when she was a little bit older, she used to stop at my house at weekends, her and her brother, and I used to knit things for them. And if I had any little odd bits left, I started knitting a crocheted blanket. I started a little blanket. It was for a doll's pram at first, and then as she got older and didn't bother with it, and I had more little bits of odds and ends of knitting wool that I had left over, so I just kept adding to this blanket. So I'm saying I started this 30 years ago, and it was put on the cot, and then on when they used to stop at my house, I got it big enough to go on the bed, and I put it on their bed. And then after a few years, well, I didn't need it anymore, but I still had lots of bits of odds and ends of wool, so I just kept on working on it, and it's actually on my bed now at the moment. I put it over the duvet when it starts to get a little bit colder at night time, so it's big enough to fit a double bed. That's 30 years in the making. You knit as well, now. Oh, how do I send a picture of a cardigan? Well, you can send it through Messenger or like as a PDF form through an email. But I think with Messenger, you just take a photo. But it would have to be on my Facebook page. Well, my name is Sheila May Smith. And if you look on Facebook, you'll probably find me. So I've got a purple sweater on. You'll probably recognise me from my face. It's the same around at the same time now. I haven't got an old photo or anything on. And if you put in a friend request, you'll get onto Messenger, and then you'll be able to send us a picture through Messenger. That's what Angela, the ghost hacker, that she does. That she sends us pictures to show us what she's doing now and again through Messenger. And I'm quite easy to find on Facebook because there's not many with my name, the full name, with Sheila May Smith and the whole name. Oh, Leslie, you've got some poodle. Well, I've got some thicker. I've got, I think, about 3 cones that were for a knitting machine, and it's really thick. And it's some more poodle. I don't know if it's poodle or it's like, I think it's like a slub. It's like a slub kind of wool. It's got like, it's not the same as that stuff I just showed you, the black stuff, but it was for machine knitting anyway, but it's quite thick, so I could probably knit that up as double knitting, I think, sometime. But I've got a lot of machine knitting yarn that I used to have. I used to do a lot of machine knitting years ago. So I had a lot of friends that used to work in factories and that, and they used to ask me to do sweaters and cardigans and things for their kids, and they used to buy them off me. A lot of them used to buy the wool, the cones of wool and that, and then they used to give me a little bit for doing the cardigans for them. But it got a bit like it's a knitting machine, and it was a knit machine that was knit and lace. So you had two carriages on the machine, and you used to go backwards and forwards like this all the time. And it started aggravating, and I've got a bit of arthritis in my spine now, and I think it started aggravating. That's why I had to give it up. But I sold the knitting machine years ago, and I never thought I could have kept it. My granddaughter might have used it now, like, but it's gone, like. Oh, you travel to Leamington when you're visiting relations. Yeah. So that Leslie, if you want to put in a friend request on Facebook, you can send a photo through Messenger or a PDF form on through email, and I can send you my email. Well, I'm not sure. I think the email address is probably on YouTube. Well, I think it is. I think the email address is on the information on YouTube for anybody that wanted that. Other people have used the email address on. It's a Gmail email address to me before on YouTube. Oh, you will do. Well, whatever you will do, I'll find out from you. You've never used it before. Oh yeah, Leslie, you got your poodle yarn in Hexham. I used to go up there years ago. There used to be market things and that there. It's a long time since I've been up that way in Hexham, like. we used to go there. Well, I used to go there with my husband because he used to like to go around these like car boot sales and things like that, because he used to like to look for tools and things like that. You know, that's all his mind used to work on, like tools and that, because he was a DIY man, especially on cars, and he used to do a lot on televisions and well, there were VCRs at the time that everybody seemed to have, and then the DVD players came out and that, and they weren't as easy for him to fix. So, but anyway, I've been a widow for the last 6 years, and YouTube's a good thing to do when you're by yourself most of the time. But I do go down my granddaughter's. I was there yesterday at my granddaughter's, and she's got 3 little boys. 8-year-old, 4-year-old, well, he's almost 5 now, like, and 2-year-old, and you know, the 3 little devils, and the two older ones, all they think about is iPad. And we're there yesterday, and my granddaughter made them put the iPads away. And she says, "Your nana's come down here to see you, and you're not sitting on your iPad all the time." So I say to them, well, after I had our tea, we'll play some games that I used to play. So we're doing noughts and crosses at first. And the older boy, the 8-year-old Frankie, he's a very poor loser. And he gets himself annoyed if he doesn't win. That we'll play that for a little while, and then it ended up with stalemate all the time, you know, with noughts and crosses. When you know what you're doing, you end up with a stalemate. So we started doing, I says, we'll play hangman. And they'd never heard of hangman. They'd never played hangman before. So I showed them how to do it, drew the gallows, and I put the little marks for the letters and all that. And I was telling them to pick letters and all that. And one of the words I put down was actually Lassie. You know, the Lassie films, the dog Lassie. And he didn't get it, and when I told him what it was, he'd never heard of Lassie before, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Is there films? There's loads of films, Lassie." I said, "Yeah, mother, to find your Lassie film and watch it." So then we ended up playing dominoes, and they ended up on their iPads, because the 2 of them were both bad losers, and it was just me and their dad playing dominoes. And even I think he's a bad loser as well, because I beat him. But that's kids for you. They just don't know how to play like we did. I mean, I'm 74 years old, so I'm probably a lot older than a lot of you on here. But they don't know the games that we played, and that we amused ourselves. We didn't have anything like that. Oh, you love the markets, Leslie. Oh, it's a cattle market. I've never been to a cattle market before. Now, I used to like to go around the markets. We used to have a big one in South Shields. I used to go there now and again. Me and my husband used to go there, like, like I used to go, and I used to like to look for little bits of material and things like that, and anything I could do with sewing and maybe wool and stuff like that. That's what I used to like to look for. Well, at the time I had my knitting machine, and I used to look for cones of to see what cones of wool I could get good prices and that. And that's where I used to like the markets for, like. Oh, you got the poodle yarn from Home Base. And I used to get my when I had my knitting machine. I can't remember the name of the places, but when I had my knitting machine, it was a long time ago. It was long before the internet, and we used to get little booklets in the post, and they had little, like, the wool on the little bits of wool on the side on a like a card thing, and you used to just pick what colours you wanted and what type of wool and that, and it was really good stuff that I used to get, and I cannot for the life of me remember where it was I used to get it from, because I would try to get some more, because a lot of it was 4-ply, and I like knitting with the finer wool, and all I seem to be able to get in the shops, like I got a lot of stuff from Aldi's and that, and it's all double knitting, and all the other shops and that seem to go around where I live anyway. It's all double knitting. And you're 61, Leslie. I've got a few years on you anyway. Yeah, it's we get a little bit sort of forgetful as we get our age. I'll tell you a little story one time. Me son, he lives in it's somewhere near Sheffield. They call it Carlton Lindrick, the place that he lives in at the moment. He works down there. His job's down there, and he comes up every so often to see us and see me granddaughter Cheryl and her 3 kids. They're his grandkids, and he comes up every so often and he lets me know, like, he'll come and pick me up first, and then we'll go down to me granddaughters, and then we usually go for a meal somewhere. Well, this time he messaged me and he said he had stopped at some shop thing, and he says, I'm 5 minutes away. I'll be at yours in about 5 minutes. So I had my coat on and my bag, and I was ready waiting for him coming. I looked out the window and I saw his car. Where I live, it's like a horseshoe shape like this. The part of the it's a crescent, and it's like a horseshoe part just off the crescent, and I live down the very bottom part of it. And I looked out the window and I seen up just coming round the corner, around the top part of the horseshoe. I saw his car coming round there, so I went straight out to the door and locked the door and all that, and run out. And I got straight into the car, and I'm in the car, and in the passenger side there was bags all over the floor in the seat. I was having to push them all to one side. I never looked up. I was just pushing them to one side, and I'm saying, "What on earth you got all these bags down here for? You knew I was getting in the car and that." I says, you should have had them all tidied up. Now all of a sudden, this voice says to us, "Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?" And I looked up, and it was my next door neighbour. I had got into his car instead of he had come down about the same time as my son. I hadn't seen him come down, but I had just seen my son's car, and it was the same colour car as his, and I thought it was his car. When you felt like a right fool. And I got out of the car and I went into my son's car, like, and he says, "What are you doing in that car, ma'am?" I said, "Shut up and drive away." That's how you get when you get to my age, Of course, they never let me forget that, like, every time, your nana, she's going a little bit singing. I says, "I'm not." Oh, you're 57, ghost hacker Angela. Oh, yeah, the other Angela. Oh, your daughter's raided is your pinching your wool off you? Pom-pom Christmas wreaths. And you're 60, Angela Macbeth, you're 60. Oh, you like my story, Harvey M? Oh, Harvey M, are you a lady or a man? Harvey's a man's name. I don't know whether M is part of your name as well. I don't know whether to call you him or her. Oh, Mariner Yarns, yes. I've seen that advertised, Leslie, that it's quite, it seems a good price, actually. Oh, that's your cat's name. What's your name then? So I can call you by your proper name, Harvey M. Singer. Singer, that's Agnes backwards. There used to be a lady lived just up the street from me called Singer a few years ago. Oh, yes, that Mariners is a good. I've had a look online at that, and they're quite reasonable prices that they are, and I might have a look at some of theirs. So I've been getting a lot of your name, yeah, Scottish. I thought it was because this lady there I knew called Singer. I think she said something it would be Scottish. My grandmother was Scottish, but she must have come to Newcastle when she was quite young. And whenever I listen to Alison Russell, when she does videos and things, I love listening to her because she's got a lovely Scottish voice, and it reminds me of my grandmother when I listen to that to her voice. That yeah, I get a lot of wool from Aldi's, and I've started to notice a lot of things I've been knitting with them. Like this one here, you probably can't see, but there's little bits of fluff on them. It's pilling, is it pilling or something you call it? A lot of it's like that, and I'm sort of going off it a bit. And I was thinking, looking for some other kind of yarn. I might try some of that from the Mariner, see what theirs is like. But I bought one or two from other different places. Some of the balls I was showing you in the bag, some of them are patents, but they cost twice as much as what Aldi's do. Now there a little bit more of me knitting here. I might get this finished by the time that the pub's open, like, and I can put it on when I go out and when I see the girls. Because I have to, if I was a bit smaller, wouldn't take us so long to knit them. My friend's only size 10, and she keeps asking me to knit her some, and I'm saying I'm too busy knitting for myself. I'm a size 16. I see it takes us ages to knit them for myself. And I think I'm going to go off shortly because I want to watch some television, and I'll come back on again sometime. Oh, my phone's going here. Oh, you work with a double knitting, Well, this is all I've been knitting with lately, but I was looking to see if I could get 4-ply from anywhere, like. Oh, you've been getting yours from Lovecraft, the Knitting Network. I've looked at that. I was looking at that. I think I was looking at the day, and I think it's quite expensive. That will, like, I'm afraid I like to look for bargains. But I've got quite a lot. I mean, what I showed you in that bag, I've got packs upstairs, and I've got spare bedrooms upstairs, like, because I live by myself. And I've got shelves up. Well, one of the rooms used to be my husband's workroom, where he used to work on all these televisions and things and all that. Like, there's a lot of shelves in there. And I think I've got about 11 packs of different colour wools. There's 4 like 100-gram balls in all the packs. So I've got a hell of a lot of wool to be going on with. Like, I shouldn't be buying anymore, but yeah, I'll probably have to have a look and see some of that stuff myself, Angela, when it's on offer, and see where I can see. I think if you buy so much or something, you get postage free or something like that. But that lady, Alison Russell, gave me a shout out the other day, and I've had quite a few more subscribers onto my channel. I think I had 400 when she gave us the shout out, and I think I've got about nearly 490 now. So I got quite a few subscribers through, which is a nice lady here. What she just seems to do that for quite a few people, giving them their names a shout out and getting people to look at their channels. Not a lot. I had a lot more, like, but I think not a lot of them stay. A lot of them drop out, and they just they subscribe and then come off again, because that's what happened. Because I had over 500 this morning, and it just kept going down for a while. So it's got to a certain level, and it stopped at that. So some people must just be subscribed to have a look and not really interested. Mightn't be what they do, you know, or what they're interested in. Like. But she's a nice lady, her, like what she does for people, like. And I'm dying for a cup of something as well. When I start talking, I get dry. So I'm going off now, and I'll see you all another time. You're drowning in a hole, Angela. I know that's me as well. Oh, is that how you found me? Yes, I think there's a lot of new people have been saying that, you know, the names has been coming up on my phone, who people who've been subscribing and that. And I think I'm recognising a lot of the names. Oh, Angela Ghost Hacker. Oh, you got a new subscriber for a shout out. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can't do much until this lockdown's thinking over with anyway. So I'm going to say bye to everybody anyway. And it's been nice talking to you. And I'll think of some more stories and tell you sometime, because I've got a lot of stories I could tell you. Oh, I could tell you one about me before I go. I've got two sisters. I've got an older sister and a younger sister. I'm the middle one, and I was trouble when I was little and most of my life. Well, I've always been best friends with my youngest sister, Linda, they call her. And my son, this will tell you how much I talk and that. My son came up one weekend, and he's a jack of all trades. He does all sorts. He's got his own business and that, you know. And I had a bit of trouble in my bathroom with like a damp patch, and there was mould on the coming on the wall, and he came up to have a look at it, to sort it out, to fix it. And he found out that I'm a council property, and I kept telling the council that this mould, they kept saying that it was condensation. I'm saying it's not condensation. I says I have the window open in here all the time. I says it's not condensation, but they said it was, and it was saying to open the window and all the rest of it. So I told my son what they had said and that, and he says, I think, he says, I think you're all right, Mum. He says, I don't think it's condensation. He says, I'll have a look at it for you. And he says, I'll put a new pipe in, because the bathroom and the toilet was separate, and there was a pipe going through the wall from the bathroom to the toilet, into the toilet. And anyway, my sister came this day when he was fixing it, and he took the pipe out and he showed us a pipe. He says the pipe was perforated. That was what was causing the mould on the wall. There was water leaking through this perforation in the pipe. And he was fixing it anyway, and he must have been upstairs about 2 hours. And my sister had come when he first came, and we were downstairs talking. Well, when we start talking, we never shut up. We're on all the time. And he come downstairs and he says, I want you two not going to make me a cup of tea. He says, I'm dying of thirst here. He says, all I've heard is you two. You've never drew breath. He says, you've never stopped talking. He says, all I want's a cup of tea. What on earth are you find to talk about? I says, well, we're sisters, you know, we've got a lot to talk about. He says, well, when I see my brothers, I've got 3 sons, you know. He says, when I see my brothers, he says, we don't talk like you. Just get that kettle on, I want a cup of tea. That's another little story. That's where I'm like when I start talking. Jeannie's Crochet Creations. You're good. You're going to Johanne's, picking up my material. And I'm going off now, Jeannie. I've been talking too much. I need a drink. So I will come on live another time and talk to you again. So bye for now. I'm going to end the stream.